Pool contractors today have some amazing technology to help their customers save lots of energy and money on their utility bills. You may be surprised to know that a typical 1.5 horsepower pool pump motor draws about 2,000 watts. That runs for 6 hours a day. That's 12 kilowatt hours a day. Even in an area of the country that has fairly low utility rates, that can be anywhere between $400 and $800 a year. In other parts of the country where we have tiered electric rates, people can be paying as much as 40 cents a kilowatt hour. That can cost as much as $2,000 a year. But the technology that we have today with the new pool pumps can cut those to a fraction of what they were. In fact, about 25% of the original bills. Well, with me today is Rodney McCall, and he's a pump expert, and he's going to tell us about this technology and how we can make the most of it. So Rodney, this new pool pump technology has a great opportunity to really help pool contractors save their customers lots of money.
The idea is, instead of the single speed pumps running at 3,450 RPM, ramming that water through the system, lots of flow, and for instance, this pool here, we got a turnover in 3.5 hours.
95 gallons per minute was the flow rate out of here.
Right, 2,000 watts of electricity. A lot more power than we need.
And that's 2,000 watts per hour.
Exactly. What we can do is slow that flow down, run the pump twice as long, the pump quietens down, and we get a lot of things accomplished there. One of them is a huge energy efficiency. The Affinity Law says if we cut the speed of the pump in half, we'll use about 1/8 of the power. So instead of running the pump for 6 hours a day, we'll cut the speed in half, cut the flow in half, and run it twice as long. So we're going to get the same turnover rate, but we're going to do it with a lot less energy. For a typical pool, what you want to do is filter water and keep it clean. When we slow the flow down, we move the water through the filter at a slower rate, so we pick up better micron removal. Smaller particles are picked up in the filter, and it quietens the pump down, and we're doing all the things for a longer period of time that you want to do on a swimming pool. Now, there are certain things that you want to raise the speed of the pump up to satisfy a certain flow rate for, say, a heater or a cleaner. If you have solar, you may want to boost the speed of the pump up to satisfy, but the idea is to run the pump at the slowest speed to get the job done.
And we can kind of tell that if we can dial that motor down and we still got decent flow across the skimmer, you've got plenty of flow.
Exactly. What you want to see is that skimmer weir kind of fold down, and if you're pulling in leaves into the skimmer's working, it's doing its job. And that's kind of where a lot of the guys set these pumps up as far as flow rate.
So what we did here in this pool, we did a retrofit. This pool had a 1.5 filter pump, and then also had a 1 horsepower booster motor for a pool cleaner. And that filtration pump used about 2,000 watts, or as I said, running 6 hours is about 12 kilowatt hours a day. The booster pump was interesting. That really was using about 1,400 watts. So all in all, that's a big chunk of money per month.
It is. And
it's like $5 a day.
What we find is that in most parts of the country, this pump will pay for itself within 2 to 3 year period. In parts of the country where power is very expensive, you might pay off the pump in a year.
So what are some things that a pool contractor needs to know about installing this equipment? Does it take a lot more time?
It takes the same amount of time as a standard single speed pump. After you install it, what you can do is dial the pump in by increasing the speed of the pump or decreasing the speed of the pump according to whatever feature you're running. For instance, on this pool, we had a waterfall. When we're running the pump at 3,450 and we're trying to push a lot of flow through that pipe, you're wasting a lot of energy. With variable speed, you can vary that speed and get different looks and different sounds. And
yeah, on this pool, as a matter of fact, at the highest speed, you almost had to raise your voice to talk over. The noise was so great, but being able to have those different levels, you could drop that down and actually dial in that to get the best look at the lowest cost. And oddly enough, the watt difference was quite a bit. I mean, at the highest, it was drawing almost 2,200 watts, as I recall, with the single speed pump. Same look. I think the wattage dropped to about 930 watts.
Right.
That's impressive. Rodney, great information. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Steve.
So if you're a pool contractor, this is a real opportunity for you to offer your customers some great new technology and for you to build and grow your business.